Hello and welcome to Novel Nourishment. Today I'm going to show you how I make one of my favourite drinks, Mexican Mocha. It's very tasty and yeah, I'll just run through the ingredients. So the first ingredient is Colombian coffee. You can use any coffee. This is the coffee I just have at the moment. It's from Marks and Spencer's. The second ingredient is Mediterranean sea salt. This is quite optional, but I just add it to my one. You can use any salt, but this is Mediterranean and pink Himalayan salt, which has more benefits because the salt hasn't got plastic in it. That's why it's more expensive. And yeah, so I've gone for them. That's a blend, 50-50 Himalayan and sea salt. Obviously, if you're making mocha, cacao powder, you can use any. I've got Bourneville and Tesco's cacao powder. I'm going to try and use the rest of the Bourneville today. The next ingredient is black peppercorns. I've got Kenya from Lidl, pretty good. Next ingredient is ground nutmeg, ground cinnamon, cayenne pepper, and obviously if we're making mocha, Co-op organic free fresh whole range milk. So now it's time to begin. So the first thing we're going to do is this is the only equipment we really need today. It's a saucepan. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn the heat on the hob at a very low level. So as you can see, I'm turning on the bottom left hob, and I'm going to put it on the lowest level I can get before the flame goes out. Or if you're on an electric cooker, you just want it low. But you can also cook this in a frother. There's lots of ways to cook it. It's just I don't have a hot chocolate maker. The hotel chocolate ones, which are quite good to make it in. So I'm just making it the very basic way. So about that sort of level on the flame, very low. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pour our whole milk into the container. Depending on how many people you're serving, try and aim for about 300 millilitres or so. 350 millilitres. You don't want too much, you don't want to waste your milk per person. So if you're making it for 3 people, put in 900 millilitres of milk. If you're making it for 2 people, 600, one person, 300. Because that's about the size of a coffee cup. So we're going to let that heat up quickly. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to get the magic spoon and we're going to add the cocoa powder to the hot chocolate. Now, it's really up to you how much you add, depending on how chocolatey you want it, but I'm going to add about 4 teaspoons. 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll just add the rest of it in. There's not much in there. There, just empty the pack out. About 4 teaspoons. So if you're making it for 2 people, 8 teaspoons or 7 teaspoons. It's just, however much you want really. Just, at least 3 teaspoons. Next ingredient I'm going to add is the black peppercorn. This will give it a nice little kick. And you're just going to do about 3 grinds. 1, 2, 3. 3 grinds. Add a little bit extra in. Next, we're going to add the ground nutmeg. With this, you don't add too much, as if you take grams of this stuff. If I took a whole teaspoon of this, I'd be sent into another world. Not many people know this, but something you can buy from the shop here. It's actually a psychedelic drug. Not many people knew that, but apparently it's not the most pleasant experience. Apparently, if you take a bit too much, you get really bad headaches, and some people say they can be hallucinating for days. So we're not going to be taking too much of it. We're just going to put in about 1/3 of a teaspoon, because it's a very strong flavour as well. It's not something you want too much of, but it's, in small amounts it's very nice. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some cayenne pepper. And to do this, we're going to add about, depending on how spicy you want it. If you don't have to add this. This is optional. If you don't like spice, don't add it. If you like spice a little bit, add maybe half a teaspoon. If you really like spice, add a whole teaspoon. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a whole teaspoon because I really like spice. I do find that the cayenne pepper really wakes me up. It's like having another kind of strain of coffee in there. It's like a different sort of high, but it really gets you going. So the next thing I'm going to add is, of course, the Colombian. And to this we're going to add about, depending on how much caffeine you want, but I'm going to add just 1 and a tiny bit, 1 1/3 teaspoons to this. Also 1 to 1.5 teaspoons. But if you really like caffeine, add 2. It's up to you. Just stay within the guidelines and stay within what you can manage. Just to say, I am not responsible for anything which goes wrong with your cooking. Use safety precautions and use your common sense. Don't be an idiot. The next thing I'm going to add is the ground cinnamon. Depending on how much you want, I'm going to add about half a teaspoon because I quite enjoy cinnamon. But depending on how much you like it, some people might only want to add 1/3. I'd suggest once you cook this yourself or create this drink yourself, you should try and adjust it to your favourite flavour notes. But for me, I find about 1/3 of a teaspoon or so. Teaspoon is a small spoon for people in America. Will do nicely. So you're going to add that in. The next thing we're going to add is some salt. And to this we're just going to add a few grinds. 1, 2, 3 grinds of Himalayan and Mediterranean sea salt. Now it's time to mix it all up. Now it'll take about 3 minutes or so to cook, not long. And you don't want to put it on a high temperature, otherwise you'll ruin it. You'll burn the milk, you'll break the proteins in the milk. It'll sort of taste alright, but it won't be as good as you want it to be on a very low heat, as you can see. And it will nicely simmer. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the health benefits of some of the ingredients. So I'll start off with cinnamon. Cinnamon has antiviral, antibacterial and antifungal properties. Cinnamon was once a medicine. Cinnamon has cinnamolidehide, or however you say that, providing such properties, i.e. the antibacterial, antifungal and antiviral properties. Antioxidants with anti-inflammatory benefits. Cinnamon is also a prebiotic with gut health benefits, promotes good bacteria and suppresses growth of bad bacteria. Cinnamon can lower blood pressure and reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes, and it can relieve digestive discomfort. And the word is here, I'm not very good at pronouncing it, cinnamaldehyde. And the other ingredient I want to talk about in this dish, which is remarkably healthy, is cacao powder. Cacao powder is rich in polyphenols, reduces inflammation, and it creates better blood flow, lowers blood pressure, can improve cholesterol and improve blood sugar levels. It can helps high blood pressure by improving nitric oxide levels. May lower risk of disease and stroke. The polyphenols, which is also found in drinks such as red wine, can improve the blood flow to your brain and brain function due to the flavonoids contained in the cacao able to cross the blood-brain barrier. It may improve mood and symptoms of depression due to flavonoids and high polyphenol content. Apparently, I've read somewhere that cacao affects the brain in a very similar way to MDMA, which is a party drug, or can be used to treat PTSD. Something I have never ever touched, but yeah, apparently it can do that. And yeah, I guess when I drink it I feel pretty happy. So yeah, it may the flavonoids in cacao may improve type 2 diabetes symptoms. No one wants diabetes, do they? Helps control your weight, reduces inflammation, reduces appetite, and increases fat oxidation. That's something I need to go a bit more on the dieting, but I'm trying. Has cancer protective properties due to the flavonoids, or whatever, however you say it. Theobromine and the theophylline contents may help those with asthma, so it's good for asthma. I actually have asthma, so another big up to this drink. And the antibacterial and immune stimulating properties may benefit your teeth and skin. So if that's a reason to have cacao, I don't know what else. Also, you got the milk, lots of vitamin D, lots of calcium, and lots of protein and good fats. Always get organic milk, so you're not ingesting a load of hormones and incorrectly fed cow's milk. Coffee stimulates you, and it has antioxidants in it. And yeah, we're just going to continue flavor. I don't know too much about cayenne pepper and nutmeg, but I'm sure they have their own benefits somehow. So as you can see, it's beginning to all simmer into one. If you can see that in the camera. You just want it to have no little bumps in it, basically. Once it has no bumps, it's ready. Once it has no little... so I'll bring the camera around here. So you want to have it so it hasn't got any little mould, like, you know, these little clumps. You don't want any clumps in it. You just want all the clumps to go. As soon as the clumps are all gone, it's ready to dish it up into your drink. And I'll tell you, this drink is absolutely delicious. Anyway, I think that's enough for today. If you enjoy... sorry, the video just cut there. My mistake, I accidentally put my fingers on it. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you fancy, subscribe if you like. If you make this dish yourself, please let me know in the comments, not this drink, please let me know in the comment section what you think of it. I'd be extremely interested to find out, because I found this drink about 2 or 3 weeks ago and I've just fallen in love with it. And yeah, stay safe, thank you. Got the drink here. Really provides you a kick. Enjoy, let me know what you think. I also just wanted to say that you can actually add honey or some sort of sugar into it as well, because it can take the edge off it a little bit. But yeah, enjoy.